Hey YouTube, it's Little Rocker Cutie 2005, also known as Andre, back again with you guys for one more review tonight. This is actually the last movie that I watched on Wednesday. If you saw my status of the channel update, I told you guys I was going to be reviewing the Maximum Overdrive and Christine, which those should probably be already uploading, and like with my YouTube and everything, my uploads go one at a time, so like I don't know how long this is going to take to upload everything, but you know, the last review is probably for one of my favorite newer rock and roll movies, The Runaways. And you got Kristen Stewart as Joan Jett, you got Dakota Fanning as the lead singer, Cherie Currie, you got Scout Taylor-Compton playing Lita Ford. I think they're really the three that I know of in this movie. I know that Michael Shannon's in here. He plays like their manager or whatever. But this is basically, you know, the story of how the all-girl 70s punk band The Runaways got started. And so, you know, basically, you know, their rise to fame, the downfall, you know, and everything that happened in between. And it basically focuses on the two you see here, you know, Joan Jett, played by Kristen Stewart, and Cherie Currie, played by Dakota Fanning. So, you know, basically centers around the two of them, and since, like, they were the two that basically, you know, they were the heart and soul of the band, because, you know, Joan pretty much started it from the ground up with, I think his name was Kim Fowley. He was their manager, and so with his help, she pretty much built the band from the ground up. And so, basically, you know, it goes into that whole story, and, you know, how they got started, you know, the rise to success and the ensuing downfall afterwards, you know, Cherie's trouble with drugs and all that kind of stuff, because, you know, this was actually based on the book that Cherie Currie wrote herself called Neon Angel, and actually this was executive produced by Joan Jett herself, and so she actually handpicked Kristen Stewart and Dakota Fanning, but, you know, she kind of had to train them as well as the other girls who were playing the Runaways, like, you know, Scout Taylor-Compton and the other two, to kind of like play like and sing like they did back in the day. And so I think Cherie Currie might have been involved a tiny bit with the movie, but I'm not sure about that. I do know Joan was heavily involved because she was executive producer, so, you know, she pretty much, you know, she trained Kristen Stewart, you know, how to talk like her, sound like her, play like her, the whole 9 yards. Like, there's a lot of, you know, behind the scenes, like, photographs and, like articles, interviews, everything, you know, with Kristen Stewart and Joan Jett, you know, just running around together at the time this movie was being made, so, but, you know, it's a really great rock and roll movie. If you guys think Kristen Stewart's a bad actress because of the Twilight movies, then this is one I would highly recommend you guys check out, because it just might change your tune on her. I mean, I know a lot of people hate her because, you know, Bella in the Twilight movies, which, again, you know, Bella's just a vapid kind of character, but, you know, those movies are guilty pleasure for me. You know, say what you want, I enjoy them, but, you know, that's just me. But, you know, like I said, you know, I don't do too good when it comes to, like, reviewing dramas or anything like that, because it's hard not to kind of, you know, dive into the whole story, especially if it's something like The Runaways, which is pretty much, you know, a true story. So it's kind of hard to review, like, dramas and stuff like that, at least for me. So, you know, this one might be kind of short, but like I said, you know, mainly focuses on Joan and Cherie and their time in The Runaways, and, you know, the rise to fame, you know, downfall, everything like that, you know, because near the end of it, you know, Cherie walks out because, you know, she was having trouble with drugs and all that. She became like a heavy cokehead, so, you know, she pretty much had to just walk away from it, and so, it's actually, like, I think it's at the end of the movie where, she's already left and she's working in this hardware store, and meanwhile, you know, Joan Jett, she stayed with the Runaways for probably 2 years after Cherie left, and then she left to do her own thing. As you guys know, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, so, you know, she hit it big, and then, but like I said, you know, pretty much focuses on Joan and Cherie and basically, you know, their story, and so, you get kind of like, it's kind of at the end of the movie where, you know, Joan's already gone solo, and I think the I Love Rock and Roll album was hitting really big at the time, so it was probably around 1980 when the movie ends, so, but, you know, it's basically, you know, Joan and Cherie talking to each other one last time, because Joan's on the radio doing an interview, and Cherie ends up calling in, you know, just to say hi to her, and so that's kind of how the movie ends, and it kind of tells you, you know, what they're doing now, like, but basically, you know, it just tells you about Joan, Cherie, and Kim Fowley, the manager, since that's kind of the three the movie really revolves around, and so, but, like I said, you know, great rock and roll movie. Check this out. I'm telling you guys. Like I said, if you think Kristen Stewart's a bad actress because of the Twilight movies, you know, watch this. Watch Adventureland, Panic Room, anything she's been in besides the Twilight movies, she's at least halfway decent. I mean, I even like Jumper, and she's decent in that. So, you know, like I said, you know, Kristen Stewart, she's kind of, I wouldn't say she's kind of hit and miss, because, like I said, you know, the Twilight movies are a guilty pleasure, you know, but, you know, she's gotten so much hate because of those movies, and so, you know, like I said, you know, this, Adventureland, Panic Room, you know, watch any of those. I mean, it just might change your tune on her, because she can be a decent actress if the part's written right. And so, but, you know, that's pretty much, you know, all I'm going to get into on the Runaways. It's like I said, you know, it's hard for me to review dramas and true stories and that kind of stuff. So, but, you know, like I said, you know, check this out. You might like it, especially if you're into Joan Jett and the Blackhearts and all that. You know, if you're into Joan Jett's music, then you're going to like this movie. So, you know, once again, Little Rocker Cutie 2005, also known as Andre, telling you to enjoy life, enjoy some Skittles, enjoy some Starburst, and in your immortal words of my faithful partner Chris, Buffy's eating man, as he always says, eat some chicken. I'll catch you guys later.